place to start if you want to start building like electrical things like synths or pedals or something like that, is to start with like kits, because they're reasonably priced. You get all the parts. There is instructions about what you do. It's basically putting a bit to the bit and soldering it in, and then if it doesn't work, there's a bit of tech support afterwards. I mean, what could be better? So this video is about Befaco, which is a Spanish synthesizer company. Befaco are great because they make pre-assembled modules, but they also make kit forms of these modules with very detailed instructions. And not only that, they go around the world and they do workshops for the price of the kits. So you buy a kit from them at the workshop and build it with them. When I actually started making modular synthesizers, I went to a couple of these workshops in London, and they were great because I left with some modules that I still use today. Check in the description, there's lots of links and information on this stuff. So today we're building a Befaco Jumpskiff, which is actually the part of the synth that holds the rest of the synth stuff together and powers it. So it's the power supply and the case all in one. So I went out and I got a cheap soldering iron. This one cost £6. I've got some solder, which is probably one of the things that needs to be kind of quite good. Screwdriver I think I need for this kit. This is my secret weapon. It's a Swiss Army knife. So I think we should go and have a look at the actual kit and I guess jump in the deep end and start making it. So I'm sat here in front of all the parts. I've got the soldering iron. The first time you actually turn on a soldering iron, no matter how cheap, no matter how expensive, it's a really good idea to turn it on and heat it up with the actual solder light. The soldering iron's heating up over there, but just one sec, I've never done hand videos. He's got a mustache. How else are you supposed to read my lips if you're deaf? To start again, okay, the soldering iron's over there, so let's have a look at what the actual kit has in it. Right, okay, so I guess these are the side panels. Looks like there's a PCB here, which is the power supply. Got a few bits of nuts and bolts. This looks like it's going to be a walk in the park, actually. What else do we got? We got these bits of metal and a bit more pieces of sideboard, I guess. The actual cool thing about this modular case is the back of it is actually where you solder onto all of the power points. That's crazy. I personally haven't seen that before, so I think that's pretty neat. This is pretty simple. Self-explanatory. Open bag A. I'm going to get it all out. You find R1 on the actual circuit board, which is there. Just pop it in and then turn it around. You get your soldering iron and you put it up onto the piece that you want to solder it on. And then you get a bit of solder, pop it onto the actual component, and hey presto, you've got to make sure that the solder actually runs through to the other side of the PCB so it makes a good connection. And snip away! How-do-do. So what they're actually saying to do in the instructions, put a bit of solder, a tiny bit of solder on one of the pads and pop a tiny bit of solder on there as well. And then what you do, you line them up, you line it all up and you damp them so they fall down and stick together. Hey presto. Now it's kind of stuck, and then what you do, get your soldering iron and you solder the rest of the pinpoints. So 15 minutes later, they've all been soldered on. Cool. You've already made it quite a way through the build. How are your focus and energy levels? Do you think you need a 15-minute break? Heck yeah, I do. The future. Fuck it. Whew. Right. Okay, after 15-minute break, what's the next step? Hex spacers. This is all the soldering done. It's pretty done. Last but certainly not least, who could forget the nice little rubber feet on each corner? There we go. Lovely. That's it. So there it is. It's done. All in all, it was quite simple. Everything fit together perfectly. So now it's time to see if it turns on and to put some stuff inside it.